One guy who I do think should be at All-Star Weekend is Ajay Mitchell. Not necessarily as an all-star, certainly not as an all-star, but should be in the, whatever the hell we're doing with the rookie sophomore game now. I truly have no idea, given that they've now changed the format of the all-star game. Assuming we're doing rookies and sophomores, Ajay Mitchell should 100% be in the mix for that selection. He's been one of the 10 best rookies this year. No question in my mind. Mitchell's averages don't look great, right? He's averaging 6 points, 2 rebounds, 1.7 assists, but he's shooting 51, 47, 81. He's the backup point guard on a team that is 26-5, averaging 16 points a game. He's played every game on a 2-way contract, by the way. Has a true shooting percentage is 6 points above league average. Seems to rarely turn the ball over. And it's just been such a fantastic, fun rookie. Look, that's another guy I interviewed on this channel. You can go back and you can watch the Ajay Mitchell interview from his pre-draft stuff. Really fun dude. Really engaging player. Really engaging personality as well, is one other thing I would say. He has this just quiet confidence that you kind of see bear itself out on the court as well. He never looks flustered, never looks worried about anything. So let's talk about Ajay Mitchell. Terrific rookie for the Oklahoma City Thunder, who's still on a 2-way deal, but has been one of the 10 best rookies in the NBA this season. So Mitchell here, just going to get a quick little view of the shot. It's beautiful. It's pristine. Was never like a knockdown guy at UC Santa Barbara for some reason, but the touch always looked great and the mechanics look great. I kind of figured that it would figure itself out. I didn't know if it would figure itself out this early, but I'm not super surprised because the shot looks like it should really work. I should also note, I ended up with Mitchell as a first-round grade. I really liked Ajay Mitchell a lot. I think I had him at 29 or 30 on my board, something like that. A really, really just outstanding, highly intelligent playmaker, in my opinion, that has a real chance to be effective. So here, defensive possession, he's up and down defensively. I think he generally kind of does the right thing on that end. He knows where he's supposed to be. This is a pretty good example of that. There are just like physical limitations that pop up as you see here. But like this one here. So on Scottie Pippen. He's in the corner. Oklahoma City doubles the ball. Kaysen ends up kind of going for a steal. He comes up. The way that Oklahoma City's defense works, this looks like a blow-by, but it's kind of not. On guys shooting up from the corner to the wing, they want you to deny the corner pass and force the drive because they know that they have middle help here. So this looks like a blow-by. It kind of is, but it's kind of not. He gets back into the play. He's in perfect position to shoot out for a kick out if Kennard kicks it out to Scottie Pippen here. He sinks on to Desmond Bane. Tries to get a body on Bane. I mean, Bane is just like the Hulk shooting guard, though, and is able to throw him off, get the bucket and the foul. There are physical limitations for sure. He's like 6'4", 6'5", but doesn't have super long arms. Not super strong yet necessarily. There are going to be possessions like this, but I like that he knows what he has to do, and I like that he knows the assignment. That's really the thing that always pops up with Mitchell. He knows the assignment every time you watch him. This one filters through with the cutter, right? They have 2 on the ball. 1, 2, which means that Mitchell has to be somewhat accountable here while also being able to get back onto his man. Make sure that Kaysen Wallace is able to recover while also being accountable here for the cutter. Again, Oklahoma City's defense just moves so synchronously and is so beautiful. Wing defender is available here on the cutter. Lets Mitchell recover, gets back out onto the wing. I think that's Wiggins. Wiggins gets beat again toward the middle. Mitchell steps up. Shea should be there to help the helper. He is there. Mitchell deflection, steal, run out. Little floater, misses it, gets the ball back out. One thing that I do love about Mitchell too are his gathers toward the basket. Does a great job using his footwork, does a great job using his frame, protecting the ball, making sure he can go up and score. DHO into a double screening action here for Isaiah Joe. This is just sick. Sick set. Entry. Screen here. Hartenstein comes down, screens. Shea screens here-ish, something like that. Isaiah Joe is going to come all the way around again. Just a sick set. I mean, this staff is awesome. I know that I didn't love what they did in the Milwaukee game for the NBA Cup, but I mean, just an awesome set. I think that staff is so good. They do such a good job of getting these guys prepared to play. Again, just simple stuff defensively. Keeps himself in the gap here. Active, arms waving. Gets back out, closes out under control. Stays in front of Laravia, switches on to Scottie Pippen here. Walls up. Everything until the final product. Absolutely stupendous defensive possession until the foul. Walls up again. Just gets those hands just right in there. Can't happen. And he knows it. He was frustrated. See him clap here. Man, it was perfect up until that last second. Just two of my absolute favorites in the 2024 NBA draft right here. The icon Cam Spencer and Ajay Mitchell. Love them both. Shout out Cam Spencer. I grabbed this one. I think he makes this one, but I grabbed this one just to show how smooth the feet are. Look at the shot prep here. He catches, ball's a little high, but his feet are already down. Elbow's about to be perfectly aligned to the rim. Flips this ball up, drills it. The shot prep is so good now. That's been the big fix for Mitchell. He looks so much cleaner in terms of his shot prep. Again, just like the Oklahoma City defense swarms everywhere. Laravia comes in. And now you've got Ajay Mitchell having to switch on to Jaren Jackson and just watch him fight to get in front here. Fights to get in front. You have Shea behind, making sure that he's there just in case they decide to throw this ball up over the top. That's great denial defense from Mitchell. Then just like an automatic switch here where he goes on to Concher. Hartenstein is going to go on to Jaren in theory, but he's actually going to just be available for the drive here. I get why Spencer throws this ball, but perfect timing. Perfect timing from Mitchell here. Gets down, gets the steal. He does all the little things, guys. This is why he's a valuable player. This one, look, we're still not out of hand yet. This game does get out of hand, but we're still not there yet. I love his suddenness with his crossovers. That's what he was really good at UCSB, which we haven't really gotten to see a crazy amount of yet in the NBA. Super sudden. Not the fastest guy, but changes speed super well. Gather toward the rim again, like we just mentioned the gathers with Hero, but Mitchell has always been elite with his gathers. Great footwork around the basket. So Mitchell here, uptight on Desmond Bane. No worries. Great defensive possession here near the end of the third quarter, I believe. This game is now out of hand officially. Does a great job staying tight. Fourth quarter starts now. For some ungodly reason, Shea is still on the court. I mean, just the shoulders, the hesitation, the suddenness. Look at that. Jay Huff has no chance. Forces the help from Spencer, but look, it's just Hartenstein's wide open at the rim. There's nothing you can do about that, right? Great dump off. Just always ready to fire. That's why I put this one on here. He misses it. But again, the shot prep is perfect. Feet are already down. They're already organized. Perfect alignment toward the rim for him. Goes up, just rims out. But that's why he's become a much better shooter. This one just totally turns the corner, flips this ball out to Aaron Wiggins. Wiggins misses. This is some G League basketball now with Castleton and Cam Spencer and some of these guys out there. But look, if you look like you're the best player on the court, like he did against G League competition, which this sort of was, with Jay Huff and Yuki out there, like that still says something. Turns the corner, forces three guys into the paint. Just misses. It's a great pass, though. Great process from Mitchell. Again, just great process, finding the open man, drawing two defenders toward him, using his pivot here. Perfect. Can't do it much better than that. Let's get to a quick little note from Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action with over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings. Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least two players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money action. There are over 10 million members. Like I said a second ago, they invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. Prize Picks always puts its members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, I can get my money in as quick as 15 minutes. We are big fans of Prize Picks here. We absolutely love the app and what they're doing for the daily fantasy sports scene. Download the app today and use code Game Theory to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Download the app today and use that code Game Theory to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game. Mitchell coming down again into the pick and pop. Now we get the kick out. Now we get the swing, drills the three. I mean, he just like completely dictated this fourth quarter, I thought, even with it being a game that was completely out of hand, right? Perfect little pass out here. Loves that little left hand wraparound live dribble pass. Drives. Williams hits the kick out. Forces the X out from Spencer. And again, just wide open three. He nails it. Ajay Mitchell had 17 in this game. Those 17 also came with 3 assists and a rebound, and just really good defense. Just really solid defense throughout the game. Horn set. Mitchell comes up. You get a screen from the original ball handler, second screen at the elbow. This is where he was absolutely lethal at UC Santa Barbara. And what I'm really interested to see if can ever come along. So screen here from Wiggins for Mitchell to come across. He's going to get the ball. Kaysen is then going to screen here. Wiggins is going to turn and screen here. And it's basically going to turn into a double drag for him to get an elbow jumper against a guy in Jay Huff that you know is playing a deep drop. Drills it. If he has that stuff too, and he definitely is the mid-range jumper, I think there's some upside beyond just backup point guard here with Mitchell. He's very skilled and he thinks the game at a super high level. Speaking of thinking the game at a super high level, really sharp cut here. That's why I wanted to put this one on. He sees Concher here, just totally ball watching. Concher even looks at like this. This is an incredible move from Concher. Concher's even looking at him. He's looking at him. He's looking at his guy. He's like, oh yeah, this is fine. This is still good. Oh shit. No, wait, it's not good. This is bad. He goes up and gets the block anyway, though. It's a good play. Yeah, I'm an enormous fan of Mitchell. I've been an enormous fan. I had a first round grade on him, like I said. I think there's some upside beyond just like, you know, backup point guard like he's been for Oklahoma City. Does he remind you at all of Jalen Brunson? Look, that's long been the name that comes up in scouting circles, just in terms of style. I totally get it from a stylistic perspective. I don't think it's like an unfair thing to say necessarily. The difference between AJ and Jalen is Jalen's frame has always just been so much stronger. And I think he does a bit of a better job of being able to separate, and always has done a bit of a better job of being able to separate. Jalen's in between game has always been a little bit better with those like little floaters and little just like touch shots around the basket. Whereas AJ has always been a guy that's like kind of gathered and tried to extend and finish toward the rim. Right. And as we saw with that play against Concher, it can be a little bit harder to do that in the NBA because of the length. Look, again, I just said that I think the upside is a little bit higher than, you know, maybe just like a backup point guard. I think he could be like a low end starter at some point. But I'm really interested to see what they do with him, because he has played 31. Two-way guys can play 50. They're going to have to convert him. Like he's indispensable for them as a backup point guard, and he's super cheap. Now the question is, like, if you're him, this is where it gets like really fun. Do you just like take like a 1-year conversion and hit restricted free agency and see if someone gives you a bunch of money, given that they're going to have to extend Chet and J-Dub this summer? Or do you take like a 3-year deal converted at like a reasonable number. Or at the minimum. Like it really just might be at the minimum, in all honesty. Do you trust the organization that's like put trust in you, allowing you to run with the backup point guard spot? It's always a really tenuous, tough choice for these guys, I think, who end up being two-way guys, younger guys. If I was him, I probably wouldn't want to sign more than a two-year deal. I wouldn't want to get stuck on one of those like Isaiah Joe deals. I would want to try and Isaiah Joe turned into a 4-year, $40 million guy or whatever. But, he was on like a 4-year minimum deal before that with the Sixers, and then the Thunder picked up that contract on waivers. Man, I don't know. It's a tough call. It's a tough call for Mitchell. I'm fascinated to see how they go about converting him, though. And I'm fascinated to see if they just put the trust in the organization. I think basically every team in the league would love to have him at this point. So, look, he's a restricted free agent for 3 seasons, too. So, it's not like he can go and hit the open market like in unrestricted free agency for 3 years. I don't know. If I'm the Thunder, I think that they have their mid-level exception, if I remember correctly. I can look that up while we're talking, but I could have sworn that they had their mid-level exception still for this year, maybe. And they have a ton of space before the second apron. So like maybe you do try and give him like a bit of that money. They have their room exception still. They have $8 million that they could spend. So maybe you do something like 3 years, $7.5 million or something. Even if you get them at 2.5, like you're ecstatic having a backup point guard at $2.5 million. It's a huge win for everybody involved. It's a huge win for Ajay Mitchell. It's a huge win for the Thunder. I don't know. That feels getting him like some real guaranteed money feels like a win. He doesn't have a ton of leverage just because he's a restricted free agent and all of that stuff. But like, yeah, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to see what it looks like. Basketball Genesis says, if only Presti used his late first round pick on Mitchell. Yeah, I mean, I had Mitchell ahead of Dylan Jones, so I don't know what to say there. Do you see where Coach Mark said Sam Presti found AJ? I mean, look, like there's no finding this guy. Like John really found the coach of the Perth Wildcats. Like he's the one that like originally scouted AJ back in Belgium and like, recruited him to UC Santa Barbara. Right. And really he's a great evaluator. He's done a great job finding guys over the years. I mean, I'd imagine that Sam probably found him, maybe early in Belgium or at UC Santa Barbara. Like he played 3 years in college. Like there wasn't really finding him. You know what I mean? It was, I think really did the key work here of evaluating him and getting him to the United States when he was a college coach. So yeah, not to disrespect Sam Presti. Sam's the best GM in the league. Does a great job, but